Martin has known Erika for years. Now, allegedly, she was with Erika when Mikey and Elizabeth called. My question is why?
I have played basketball since I was 5, super tomboy, didn't like dresses. Everyone thought I was a little boy because I wore Jordan and all these different types of athletic clothes.
What if the real reason Erika Kirk stays so quiet about her dating history is because she was never truly into men? At least not before Charlie came along. That's the rumor spinning out of control right now. Inside TPUSA circles, whispers are spreading fast, with insiders claiming a major secret is about to explode. And here's the wild part. People say Candace Owens might actually have footage to prove it, and everyone's watching to see if she's bold enough to drop it. The talk about Erika possibly being into women isn't exactly new. It's been lurking online for a while. But things took a sharp turn when old tweets popped up mentioning Erika's wife. That timing had fans double-taking because it matched the same period she publicly claimed she wasn't dating anyone in New York. Then it got even crazier. Screenshots began floating around showing Erika, as an adult, allegedly chatting in ways critics called questionable with someone much younger, all while those past accusations about her time in a Romanian orphanage started trending again. People couldn't believe the drama stacking up this fast. Now, everyone's asking, does Candace already have the receipts locked tight in her vault? And what's it gonna take for her to finally hit upload?
Suddenly struck up a relationship with a 15-year-old girl, a minor, and the child posted all of this on Twitter along with screenshots.
But before we even get into Candace's so-called receipts, we've got to break down that resurfaced post. Because every time it seems like nothing else from Erika's past could shock the internet, something messier pops up. Just when the buzz dies down, boom, another old post drops, and this one made people stop scrolling and stare twice. A follower even tagged Erika in a puppy meme that said, Erika's face when she walks into dinner expecting to see her wife. But when people saw that Cabot Phillips was the one at dinner instead, chaos broke loose online. Another one for the books. Well done, Cabot. That single line alone had social media spiraling, and here's why it hit so differently. First off, it added even more weight to the rumors that Erika and Cabot were closer than she ever let on, even though she kept swearing she wasn't dating anyone at the time. That contradiction had fans and critics talking nonstop. Second, it made all those whispers about Erika possibly being into women sound a lot less random. This wasn't some secret file from a deep web archive. It was public, right there for anyone to see. That's what made it sting harder for her followers. It looked like she wasn't even hiding this so-called wife situation at all. And here's the twist. That tweet came from 2017, barely a year before she met Charlie, and suddenly flipped her whole image. One minute she's out living that wild party life, and the next, she's showing up as this polished, traditional Christian wife. That fast switch-up had people side-eyeing hard, wondering what really went down behind the scenes. Now the big question floating around is this. How was Erika close enough with a woman in 2017 for friends to casually call that person her wife? And then just a year later, she steps into a completely different role? Critics say the timeline doesn't add up, and that's why the internet refuses to let this one go.
Has been a dear friend of mine for almost 15 years. We have done multiple projects together. She wrote the foreword to my book. The photo that has been circulating around that says a Left Eye Club, this is the cuff that she's...
As people kept digging, more of Erika's old posts resurfaced. And instead of clearing the air, they made everything way more confusing. One viral moment hit when British commentator Milo Apollos shared one of her old photos, captioning it, "This is a lesbian." The image showed Erika posing confidently, the same post where she'd written, "What she ordered, fish fillet." That's when everything online flipped. Once those old photos started making rounds again, people began questioning if she had ever been fully honest about her dating past. Some tried to defend her, saying folks were overanalyzing old posts. But by that point, the speculation had already exploded, and the internet hasn't stopped buzzing since. From that point on, the drama didn't just simmer, it exploded. People went full detective mode, lining up screenshots, timestamps, and captions like they were building a conspiracy board on their walls. Every old photo, every tweet, every little tag suddenly felt like a missing puzzle piece to something much bigger. Critics jumped in, saying the image Erika built later in life didn't match the energy from her earlier years at all. They claimed the switch happened too fast, too smooth, almost like she pulled off a full-on rebrand overnight, but others clapped back, saying, "People grow, people change," and that digging up decade-old posts just to label someone was way out of line. Still, the noise didn't fade. It only got louder. What really turned the volume up was how confident some commentators sounded. They weren't just asking questions anymore. They were making bold claims, acting like they'd cracked some major secret wide open. And that's when Candace's rumored receipts stormed back into the picture. Because if she truly has real footage, not just memes or captions, that would flip this whole situation from casual gossip to something serious. Now the pressure's through the roof. Everyone's glued to their screens, refreshing nonstop, waiting to see if this stays in rumor land or turns into hard proof. Erika's been on big stages before, confidently saying she never dated anyone before Charlie. She said it clear, no confusion, no hesitation. But critics were quick to clap back again, pointing out her own social media seemed to tell another story. There were posts, photos, and videos showing she'd had relationships before, some short, some deeper. And here's the wild part. None of it was hidden. Those receipts weren't buried or leaked. They were sitting right there on her own timeline, just waiting for people to notice. So people started asking, why make a claim that can be disproved with one quick internet search? You don't need to be a tech genius to scroll back and check dates. It's basic stuff. That's when speculation went into overdrive. Some critics started saying maybe those public relationships with men weren't the whole story after all. They suggested that by keeping attention on her supposed boyfriends, Erika might have been hoping to distract people from digging deeper into other, more private parts of her past. But instead of slowing the rumors down, that move only made everyone dig harder. And then came the wildest layer yet. Online whispers began claiming Erika not only had a history of close relationships with women, but that some of those ties might have even continued after she married Charlie. Now, these are just online allegations, nothing proven, but they added major fire to the conversation.
Angels? Yeah, that was a project that a bunch of us were blessed to be a part of because Erika put it together. And we would get a wish list around Christmas time, and it was from children who wanted nothing more than bread.
Then came the bombshell moment. Candace Owens jumped into the mix on her latest podcast, and that's when everything truly exploded. Candace didn't dance around it. She went all in. She broke things down piece by piece, laying out screenshots, timelines, and clips that critics say raise serious questions about Erika's story. According to Candace's detailed breakdown, the version of events Erika shared publicly doesn't totally line up with what's floating around online. That mismatch has people hooked, waiting for every new episode like it's a true crime series. During the podcast, Candace reportedly called out old posts, past associations, and specific statements she felt deserved a closer look. She framed it as just asking hard questions, not making final claims. But with that much detail dropped at once, people couldn't help but react. Meanwhile, Erika's supporters are pushing back, saying the whole thing's been blown way out of proportion. They argue that old posts can easily be misunderstood, twisted, or taken out of context to fit a story. But the internet doesn't exactly wait for full context when the drama's this juicy. On the flip side, critics are shouting that there are just too many coincidences to brush off. They say this whole pattern looks planned, not accidental. And that's what's making the tension skyrocket right now. If Candace really has something bigger than screenshots, like serious, game-changing receipts, she could flip this entire story overnight. The internet's on edge, refreshing nonstop to see if this stays an online theory or explodes into something that forces real answers out in the open. But things got way murkier when Candace started digging into what she called Erika's lies and misrepresentations after Charlie's passing. That's when the tone shifted from gossip to something way darker. One of the major questions Candace raised was where Erika actually was on September 10th, the day Charlie tragically passed. Erika had publicly said in an interview that she was at the hospital with her mom, who was getting treatment, when she got the call from Mikey McCoy saying Charlie had been badly injured. At first, that story sounded simple and believable. But Candace came with a twist. According to sources she cited, Erika wasn't just with her mother that day. Candace claimed Erika was there with a woman named Tracy Martin, who she believes might now be Erika's girlfriend. That claim instantly sent social media into a meltdown. Everyone wanted to know, who exactly is Tracy? Well, if you keep up with TPUSA circles, her face might already ring a bell. Tracy's an author and a regular at Dream City Church in Arizona, the same church where Charlie delivered some of his most well-known speeches before he passed away. So she wasn't some random name suddenly being thrown in. She had history in that world. Deep history. And here's the part that had everyone gasping. Tracy has reportedly known Erika for more than 15 years. That's not some new friendship or casual acquaintance. That's a long-term connection that's now being pulled back into the spotlight, and people can't stop wondering what that really means. Candace even played a clip of Tracy speaking about Erika, and the internet lost it. Listeners said the tone, the warmth, and the way Tracy talked about her sounded way too personal. Supporters insisted it proved nothing, but critics swore it meant everything. Once again, the questions just kept piling up, and the buzz only got louder.
Has known Erika for years. Now, allegedly, she was with Erika when Mikey and Elizabeth called. My question is why? If you're with your mother and your mother is receiving a treatment and your mother is vulnerable, why are you bringing Tracy with you? In fact, I'm being told that her and her mother were not together. Now, I can tell you, like I said, that Tracy has known Erika for 15.
After that clip aired, speculation went into overdrive. People started replaying Tracy's words frame by frame, studying her tone, her facial expressions, even the tiny pauses between sentences. Some said you could feel the closeness in her voice when she spoke about Erika. Others pushed back, saying longtime friends can talk warmly without it hinting at anything romantic. Still, the debate caught fire online and refused to die down. Candace leaned right into that chaos, asking the question everyone was thinking. If Tracy was truly there that day, why wasn't her name mentioned in any earlier interviews? According to Candace, leaving out that detail made the entire timeline look suspicious and confusing. She framed it as a transparency issue, not a direct accusation, but critics took it as a bombshell claim. Erika's supporters didn't stay quiet either. They said being with a close friend during a stressful family moment is totally normal, and reminded everyone that grief and shock can easily affect how someone remembers events later. From their side, this whole thing was being stretched into drama that just isn't there. But the critics aren't backing off. They argue that when someone's story shifts, even slightly, it opens the door to bigger questions about what's really going on. Now the spotlight is blazing on Tracy, that 15-year connection, and what might have been happening behind the scenes. And once again, everyone's glued to their screens, waiting to see if any solid proof drops or if this storm finally cools down. According to Candace's so-called inside sources, the belief is that Erika and Tracy's connection may have grown into something more than friendship over the years. And that's the claim shaking up the internet right now. If that timeline is really true, then Tracy was in Erika's life way before Charlie ever came into the picture. And critics say that changes everything, because if Tracy had been around for that long, people are now asking if Charlie unknowingly stepped into something that was already complicated. That theory's spreading like wildfire across social media, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. It's also been alleged that Erika and Tracy were connected professionally years ago, even working together on that controversial Romanian orphanage project that's faced heavy public backlash. Again, these are just online allegations, not verified facts, but they've definitely turned up the temperature on this entire situation. Then came the biggest claim yet, the one that blew the conversation wide open. Candace reportedly said that Erika wasn't actually with her mother at the hospital when Charlie was fatally injured. According to what Candace shared, Erika was allegedly away on a trip with Tracy at the time. That statement hit like a total shockwave. It was all anyone online could talk about for days. If that claim were ever proven with real evidence, it would raise huge questions about why such a different version of events was told publicly. But Erika's supporters are standing firm, calling these accusations false and insisting there's zero verified proof that such a trip ever happened. They're saying the whole thing is pure speculation being spun for clicks. Critics, on the other hand, are doubling down hard, arguing that if Candace really knows who Erika was with that day, then she might be sitting on even more information that hasn't been revealed yet. So far, the alleged footage Candace keeps hinting at hasn't surfaced anywhere in mainstream media, but given how this story keeps building, people are convinced she's holding something back. And the second Candace dropped these new claims, the internet erupted. The reaction was instant, messy, and explosive. Social media split into two loud camps almost overnight. One side saying this was a long time coming and demanding full transparency, while the other side begged everyone to stop spreading unverified drama until real proof shows up. The other side fired back, calling it all reckless speculation, nothing more than dramatic storytelling built on unnamed sources. But no matter what side people took, the spotlight on this story just kept getting brighter. Commentators began asking the big question that everyone was thinking. If there really is footage or hard evidence out there, then why hasn't it been released yet? Some believe it's being held back for legal reasons, that Candace might be waiting for the right time to drop it. Others think it's all strategy, a slow rollout meant to keep everyone's attention locked in. That mystery alone has people glued to their screens, waiting for the next twist. Meanwhile, Erika's supporters are holding their ground, insisting that accusations aren't proof. They keep reminding everyone that serious claims need serious evidence, not just viral podcast commentary. They say grief, complicated friendships, and overlapping timelines can look suspicious when taken out of context, especially through a hostile lens. That's their stance, and they're not budging. But the critics aren't backing down either. They say there are too many unanswered questions piling up, not fewer, and every new claim adds another piece to a messy puzzle that demands answers. Until someone shows something concrete, the tension won't calm down one bit. Right now, everything's hanging in the balance. If solid evidence drops, the entire narrative could flip overnight. But if nothing real shows up soon, the backlash could swing the other way and hit hard. One thing's for sure, this situation is far from over. And of course, the internet did what it always does, turn the chaos into memes, wild reaction videos, and crazy theories flying from every direction. But just when people were laughing and speculating, something way heavier surfaced that completely changed the mood. Critics started pointing to resurfaced posts they claimed showed Erika having inappropriate online interactions with someone much younger. Years ago, when those alleged receipts began circulating, the entire tone of the conversation flipped fast.
To one of Erika's tweets by saying, @Erika Franzvi, gorgeous as always. A few hours later, she then tweeted, "Why did @Erika Franzvi just send me this?" Laughing emojis. And there is a photo which says, "This Valentine's Day, I am going to touch your butt." Jillian posted this tweet on March 6, 2014. So Erika says, "Let me call you. Hold on, sweetheart. Give me a wow." And then Jillian says, "Okay," and puts laughing emojis. Erika then says, "Sex too, but not from you, LOL. Holy laughing emoji. You always make..."
It was no longer just Candace and her followers asking questions. Now even Erika's own supporters were demanding clear answers. Despite the mounting backlash and non-stop chatter across every platform, Erika stayed silent. She didn't directly respond to those new allegations. And that silence made everything feel even more intense. In the eyes of critics, her quietness spoke volumes, turning speculation into full-blown suspicion overnight. People started saying the claims were way too serious to ignore, that Erika owed the public a clear denial, or at least an explanation. One of the posts, spreading like wildfire, showed a supposed screenshot of suggestive messages from years ago between Erika, who was an adult, and someone said to be much younger. These are online allegations, not proven facts, and there's been no confirmation from any court. Supporters immediately questioned the screenshot's authenticity and the missing context, calling the whole thing suspicious. Still, because of the rumored age gap, the accusations alone set the internet on fire. Outrage built fast. And suddenly, people weren't just gossiping anymore. They were demanding answers immediately. As those screenshots circulated, the entire mood online shifted from casual drama to serious concern. Fast. Once an age difference gets mentioned like that, people stop laughing and start asking hard questions. Even some who had been defending Erika started saying she needed to address it head-on, not stay silent. Critics claimed the tone of the alleged messages crossed a line given the age gap, while supporters clapped back, insisting that screenshots can be faked, cropped, or ripped from context. They warned everyone to chill until real verification appears. But by then, it was too late. The arguments had already turned into a full-blown digital war. What made things even more explosive was the timeline. The alleged messages were said to be from years before Charlie entered the picture, which meant the controversy wasn't just about hidden relationships anymore. It was now about Erika's character and past behavior, a much heavier accusation that hit differently. Once again, it's important to note, there have been no legal findings tied to these claims, and no proof the screenshots are real. But just their existence was enough to shake Erika's base. People who had followed and supported her for years suddenly wanted transparency, honesty, and solid proof one way or another. At this point, it's no longer just internet drama. The whole thing feels bigger, heavier, and impossible for anyone involved to ignore. With so many layers, from rumored relationships to messy timelines and now serious allegations, the pressure around Erika just keeps building. Everyone's watching every move, waiting to see what happens next. And just when people thought they'd seen it all, the entire narrative flipped again. It's one thing to deal with whispers about old relationships, but these alleged texts, if they're even real, threw everything into a whole new lane. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't about who Erika may have dated years ago. The spotlight shifted straight to those suspicious screenshots spreading online. Critics began asking whether there might be more questionable messages out there that haven't surfaced yet. And that's when old controversies, like the already infamous Romanian orphanage project, came roaring back into the spotlight, trending right alongside the new allegations. Behind the scenes, people say Erika's team is under serious pressure right now trying to figure out their next move. Do they drop a strong denial and risk making the story even bigger? Or do they stay silent and let the rumors keep spinning out of control? Either choice is risky, and the world is watching. Supporters keep stressing that allegations aren't proof, warning everyone not to treat social media like a courtroom. But critics aren't buying the quiet act. They argue that every day of silence just deepens the doubt, and hanging over all of this chaos is the same burning question. If Candace really has solid evidence, when is she finally going to hit upload? Because at this point, the past isn't sitting quietly in the background anymore. It's front and center, and the internet won't let it fade away. So what do you think? Is this all just wild online speculation, or is something bigger about to break wide open? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this with someone who's been following the drama, and don't forget to subscribe. This story's far from over,